Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm about to dive into some deep issues right now I can hopefully help you with. Maybe you've been feeling unhappy, you want to figure out how to fix that. I'm going to talk about maybe you're feeling a little bit lost, having some identity crisis, just lacking motivation and overall purpose. So let's dive in and see if I can help you out based on some of my life experience and what's worked for me. Hey guys, like I said, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Weston Boucher. I'm a model and a menswear designer out of Southern California. I'm happy to have you. If it's your first time here, please do click subscribe and click that like button and share this video if you get to the end and you feel like it might help somebody out that might be facing the same issues. Before we get started, a couple quick updates on my menswear line. My quarter zip, the 2021 version I'm wearing right now, just came out in 3 colorways. I have the dark army, alabaster, and dark gray, which was the original everyone loved. Thank you guys so much for the awesome feedback. There are limited quantities because I'm a new brand, so make sure you guys check those out on my site. My Luxe suede cap is going to be coming out very soon, hopefully in less than 2 weeks, so keep an eye out for that. If you want to head to the site right now, you can click email when available, and that's going to auto notify you the second that I add them to inventory. A lot of good products come down the pipe. I've been designing like crazy to just expand the collection. I think you guys are going to love them because I'm designing the clothes for me first, and if I don't think they're awesome, then I'm not going to obviously relay that to you. But yeah, it's just been so great to have all the feedback so far, so keep it coming, guys. Oh, and I also wanted to quickly mention, since a big part of my audience is international, as well as a lot of you guys that are on my mailing list, I did just secure discounted rates for international shipping for my menswear line. So I know you guys that are worried about how expensive it has been to ship where you're at, check everything out now. Those rates have dropped significantly. Okay, so most people will agree that 2021 was a rough year. And we're a little bit into 2021 now, quarter of the way. I've been doing live coaching sessions with guys, and I've just been having them pick my brain, and I'm noticing a lot of the same themes in terms of people feeling like they're not where they want to be. So that's what kind of stimulated my idea to do this video, because it's kind of about identity, like I had mentioned, a little bit of finding a way to reconnect with yourself. I'm going to cover some pretty deep topics, and I'm just telling you, these are things that have really worked for me, helped me to secure my identity, and helped me feel more confident about all the goals and things I want to pursue ahead and whatnot. So I think what I want to talk about first in this is that if you're feeling unhappy, unsatisfied, like I said, unmotivated, a big part of it is maybe you're not facing yourself. And it's not accusatory, but what I'm saying is a lot of us will attach our identities to things, right? Like your work, there's a plethora of things actually. It's like, the reason I bring this up is because you're more than a pronoun or an athlete or a vegan or a CrossFitter or I don't know, there's a plethora of things, atheist, conservative, liberal, whatever, you name it. You're more than that. I think that nowadays we easily can just label people, label ourselves. I mean, myself included, I might be a model, YouTuber, a menswear designer, but those are just things that I do, right? Like, I'm still Weston at the end of the day. And so if you can think in those terms, if you know that if you lost those titles and you're still, you'll still be okay, then you have something there that's really big. And I think that's where I'm at this point in my life. And that's why I wanted to bring it up, because if your identity is shaky, or you put too much of it, you allocate too much of your identity to one thing or a plethora of things instead of your true self, the second those things get jeopardized, you feel either extremely threatened or your world turns upside down. So if I lost those titles, yeah, it would hurt my ego ultimately, but I'd still be Weston. Like I said, I would still pick back up, and I would connect with myself, and I would pick myself up off the ground and figure things out. As I've done it before in my lifetime, I wasn't always doing these things. I started in the video game industry. I was in that for 7 years. I played professionally as a musician for, 15, 20 years. I was a photographer for about 15 years after that. Obviously, you can tell I'm pretty old at 41. I've done a lot, I guess, in my lifetime, but I have pivoted each time, and each time was super scary because my identity was just going, whoa. Because along the way, I thought, oh gosh, what am I gonna do now? Who am I at this point? So to come back to what I was saying about facing yourself, is that you're likely to be unhappy if you have allocated, like I said, a big portion of your identity to said things. Because when they're not going well, you're not where you think they're supposed to be, or you just lack motivation to pursue said things, you in turn feel like your value is compromised, right? Like if you don't produce in those areas, then maybe you just feel like you're less than, or you're comparing where you're at with those things to other people. At the end of the day, there's this lack of satisfaction, right? Because you put this standard on yourself, or at least I know that's the way it is for me. Please comment below, let me know along the way with this video if there's things that you really feel like I could have touched on or should have, or maybe things that might help other people that read the comments. Okay, so let's say you start working on the identity thing I mentioned, right? How's that gonna ultimately make you more happy if you start working on that? Well, you're gonna find ways to reconnect with yourself. So through doing therapy over the years, one of the biggest revelations I had was that I had drifted too far from the true Weston, which was ultimately like when I was younger, there were things that captured my imagination and my sense of wonder, and I compromised those things over time to either achieve goals or to make someone happy in a relationship I was in. I was married for, or with my ex-wife 15 years, right? So when you're with someone else that long, you lose sight of yourself. It wasn't anything that she did, but I felt like I'm a husband now, I need to do this, I need to do that. The reason I bring that up is because you might have compromised a big part of yourself, or you continue to without realizing it, and there's really not much room left for you. And I get it, you know, if you're a dad, you've made that choice to respect the responsibility that comes with that, and it's not as much about you anymore, right? But you still gotta find some balance in the meantime until the kids are out of the house, obviously, and you can get back to finding more time for yourself. But what I'm saying is that it's normal to feel like you aren't connected with yourself. We have so much going on in the world. We're so overstimulated, overengaged by a plethora of things. And I bring it up because I think that to be happy, if you can find those things, like I said, that stimulate your imagination, your sense of wonder, you will start to like reconnect with that self that was, you know, your younger self before you went into adulting and kind of lost a lot of that. Hopefully that's making sense. So from a practical standpoint, what I'm trying to say is find ways to get back to yourself. One of the things I did recently that might seem totally inconsequential, I made a playlist of a lot of the old music I used to listen to when I was like a teenager, and it's been my workout playlist lately. And there's so much nostalgia that floods back, and it triggers all these other memories and a lot of the things where I was at in that point in time, the things I was excited about and things I would do. And that ultimately led to me thinking about, gosh, this was a time when I used to ride dirt bikes and I was so into that. And now I am working my way to get a dirt bike again. And with my best friend, Chris, we're gonna go out to the desert and start riding again. He got a dirt bike. I'm about to get one as well, and I've got all the riding gear and everything. But you just don't know what can come with that when you start to really like go back down memory lane. I know that might be painful for some people. There's not all good things in the past, but hopefully you're starting to understand what I'm getting at is that I've really pushed aside a lot of the things I used to love to do because I felt like I needed to graduate or just outgrow stuff. But the truth is I didn't. Like a lot of those things are still like at my core. They were at points in my life where I was becoming a young adult, and they really stick with you. And maybe there's some stuff in there that will help you get back to that. Maybe you love like nature or hiking or whatever, but now you've been in a relationship for however long, and you've just been kind of putting a lot of stuff that you want to do to the side to either please the other person or whatever. Maybe you just need to be better with time management. But what I'm saying is like, even if you found 20 minutes a day to do something in the vein, or maybe something new even, that's always like really been nagging at you to just try out, take a baby step. I always tell people in the one-on-one sessions that I do with them, baby steps lead to a compounding effect that lead to huge change. Okay, so what am I ultimately saying? Like, make a playlist and go buy a dirt bike? No, I mean, that's just what works for me. What I'm saying is like, start to think bigger picture beyond how you've maybe been operating in autopilot for a while, thinking that career and all that stuff is you, and all those other things I mentioned at the beginning about like things you've subscribed to or ideals and stuff like that. Those are all great things that probably help you grow and you identify with those things, like I said, but you got to get back to that core part of you to reconnect with yourself. I recommend doing a daily journal if you can. For me, just meditating or just sitting there in silence is really tough for me. I have to have some kind of engagement. So once I start writing, like I typically just act like I'm writing to God, like writing a letter to God, like here's where I'm at, just checking in. This is what I've been, you know, wrestling with. I would love to do this. I wish that this would happen someday. That gets to a place where you just really find yourself dumping a lot out on the paper. And it puts it somewhere, right? Like it just helps to release each day. Every 24 hours, we kind of reset as people, and we need to like purge a little bit, and we need to express ourselves, and we need to connect either with ourselves or other people, or we really just are isolated ultimately, and we are just kind of like on the hamster wheel, right? Another thing that you want to consider too in terms of happiness is who you're surrounding yourself with. You want to surround yourself with people that are the opposite of toxic, okay? You want to find people that they believe in you, they're like mascots for you, right? Like they're so encouraging, they're so supportive. That's the type of environment that will help you flourish as you kind of dive into finding yourself. Because when you reconnect with people, they're gonna energize you, right? Like you get energy from people, and you can talk to them about all this. You can get them excited about what you're excited about in terms of identity, and just, you know, reconnecting about old memories, maybe connect with some friends you haven't talked to for a while. I mean, it sounds kind of like, I didn't do this video where I had such a like totally outlined prepared thing I was gonna do, because I wanted it to be a little bit more organic and just conversational with you guys. So forgive me if there's like a little bit of a lack of structure, but I wanted to start giving myself freedom on the channel to just kind of start talking about topics like this, because I know you guys have been asking about skincare routines and style videos, and trust me, I am gonna work on those. I am working on those. They've just been like a plethora of delays I won't get into right now that have made it harder to get into those just now. But I wanted to explore these type of topics on my channel because I feel like I am more than what I started my channel out to be. You know, I'm more than like, how do you become a model? What do you do to style your hair and stuff like that? And that's all cool. Like all those things, like I mentioned in my last video, self-care goes a long way. It really does for your self-confidence. But I want to start to like get into the stuff that's soul level, is not only therapeutic for me, but hopefully will be more conversational. Like I said, with you guys, you can kind of like leave comments and start to spur my mind in terms of future topics that we can really get into, or maybe in the YouTube space it's lacking, I don't really know. I will dive in based on my life experience and just try to help, you know? Like I want to connect with people, and I want to use all my experiences in life, the good ones, the bad ones, to save other people from going through that, or to push them towards the things that have really been life-giving to me. Okay, to recap, face yourself. Surround yourself with really great people. Find ways to reconnect with yourself, your younger self, imagination, your sense of wonder. Find those practical things that you used to do that you want to get back to. Even if there's one thing, just make that commitment to yourself right now that you're going to do that, maybe this coming week. Like I said, find some old music. Just get yourself in that place before all the adult stuff came, after that, where you felt so responsible for so much. I think that being young at heart truly is a gift. So if you can find your way back there, that would be super helpful. So why did I think that, these topics were gonna be a fix for someone that might be unhappy? Because ultimately I could have said, oh, if you just like get your goals down and you're super productive, then you'll be happy. You get that job or you make a certain amount of money, then you'll be happy. I've done all that stuff. It's not that, it isn't that. Those things complement. And being productive and being on top of stuff and feeling like, you enjoy your job, those really do help. Those all help. But the reason I bring up all those other things is that if you get to the point where you are in your true self, then you're gonna be the most authentic, right? You're gonna be the most genuine. That's the best thing you can do for other people, because that's your true self. At the end of your life, basically, right? Like, not to be like morbid, but your eulogy, you think that they're gonna talk about just the career stuff you did? Hopefully not just that, right? Like they're gonna talk about your character, right? And your character is gonna be, he was like this, he was just so great to be around, this, whatever it is. If you're authentic, you cannot go wrong. Okay, if there's a big takeaway today, that is one big takeaway, to look at kind of linear path of your life. Like, don't think about like once you get there, then you'll be good. Enjoy the journey, know you're flawed, give yourself grace, but along the way, give yourself that freedom to be who you truly are, not what other people project on you, the labels they put on you, or the labels you put on yourself. Give yourself freedom to just start being you, all right? I'm super excited to hear what you guys thought of this video. Please leave a comment. Like I said, please share it with other people that might feel inspired by this or might be in a place where I could help them. I hope there was some substance in there for you that you connected with. I know it was a little bit out there, and like I said, not structured. That's where I'm at. I record videos when I feel motivated to do them. I don't just bust them out. Like you see, my frequency is not that great with recording videos. I'm gonna work on that too with more structure, right? Anyways, if you enjoy this video, please like it. Again, please subscribe if you're new here. I have a lot of other videos on a lot of topics. Look at some of my playlists. Again, check out my menswear line if you can. I'm super amped. This is where a lot of my energy is going right now in terms of work stuff. So head to the site at the link below, and there's a lot of other great stuff in the video description below about a lot of the things I do, yada yada. I've gone on for long enough, but anyways, I treasure all of you guys. Thank you so much for the support and always being so awesome from the get-go. As I watch my channel getting close to 100K now, pretty awesome. So God bless. I wish you guys the best. Godspeed in your life. You got this. The best times are ahead, I assure you.